Initiative, Prince Oheneba Kwaku Duah. A very good afternoon to you and welcome to Africa in Business. Good to have you with us.
Thank you. Good afternoon. How are you?
Very well, thank you. And I hope you are keeping
That's
well
great.
too. Perhaps let's get straight into it with an understanding of who you are as AGI. Who are you, Ashanti Green Initiative? And maybe if you could tell us about some of the projects that you've been involved in.
Okay, sure. Ashanti Green Initiative is a Ghanaian-based NGO. We're focused on promoting sustainable development in mining communities. We focus on areas like environmental restoration, responsible sourcing governance, human capacity development. Ashanti Green Initiative is owned by the Ashanti royal family of Ghana, and I, as the Prince of the Ashanti Kingdom, serve as its managing director. So that's just a very brief overview of what we do. Yeah.
And as far as the Mining in Motion Summit, why exactly was that set up? What are your objectives? What would you like to achieve from the summit?
The idea for us was to create a policy-led, African-owned platform that brings together governments, industry leaders, and development partners. Of course, this year the key focus on artisanal and small-scale mining. We do intend to continue to have a very broad discussion on ASM just because of how big of an industry ASM is. I mean, we put that into perspective. You take Ghana, for example, we're the largest gold producers in the entire African continent, and 52% of our output is artisanal or small-scale mined. I think that nowadays our artisanal miners have gone past rudimentary methods of mining, like using shovels, pickaxes. It's become a more advanced sector which involves a lot of machinery. So it's imperative that there is some sort of a regulation and standards that artisanal miners follow, because the amount of degradation that can be caused in the wake of these mining operations, it can bring about devastating effects, as well as that. Also, we also can speak about the fact that the output from a lot of the artisanal small-scale miners is below par. We're not just here to talk about environmental restoration alone, but how artisanal small-scale miners can use better technology to improve their mining output. You have things like in Ghana, for instance, you have where artisanal miners process their ores, called a kitchen is what we call it in Ghana, and most of the output there is about 40%. So if you have an ore, the methods of extraction that they use now can only take about 40% of the ore. But there's more advanced technology and machinery that is able to extract up to 97, 98% of the ore. And these are some of the things that we're looking to advocate for. It goes without saying.
And very much on that note, talk to us about some of the strategies and some of the solutions you have put in place or that you put forward for those that you address this summit to, and specifically communities that have been affected by this mining degradation and some extensive mining activity. How available are the solutions to them? How user-friendly are the solutions to the communities that form part of the summit, or that the summit is supposed to address?
I think that in terms of the availability of the solutions, I would say it's there. I don't know how well marketed that they are being done, and I think that is something that myself and the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources in Ghana are working quite closely on marketing these types of technology to the artisanal small-scale miners. So I would say that a lot of the work AGI is focused on doing now is also on advocacy, also on marketing these equipment. And one of the achievements that we're looking to have post Mining in Motion is obviously the introduction of more advanced machinery and technology into the artisanal small-scale mining sector. You have a government-owned entity by the name Gold Board, which is heavily investing in improving technology for artisanal small-scale miners. You have the Minerals Commission, which is introducing technology such as drones, machinery tracking to ensure that miners are operating within their boundaries, to ensure that there is no crisscrossing. Also, one thing that we're looking at introducing is processing units, processing facilities to improve the output of the resources that artisanal miners are producing.
As Ghana, you will know that over the years you have had some serious issues around illegal mining. What is being done to foster collaborations between ASM and established big mining companies?
I think there's a very keen desire between the two to have some sort of alignment. So during the Mining in Motion Summit, one of the biggest panels that we had was a panel on the relationship between large scale and small scale mining companies, where we were looking at how we can improve the relationship between the two. I think that one thing that my ministry is quite keen on is some sort of knowledge sharing platform between the large scale and small scale mining companies. It could even lead all the way up to technology sharing, where some advanced processing units or advanced drilling units that the large scale mining companies have that they're probably not using anymore, they can be passed down to artisanal small scale miners to improve their output.
And how do you hope to extend beyond the borders of Ghana and really impact mining across the African continent? And how far does the summit go in actually achieving that or doing that?
I think that one of the key focuses for us during Mining in Motion was to highlight the fact that ASM or ASM related issues are not synonymous to Ghana alone. And to highlight the fact that we as Africans most of the time face similar issues. So when you have the chance and you can look at the Mining in Motion program, you would see that most of the conversations were general. They were not based on Ghana alone. The panels were very Africa focused. And it is our hope, it is our dream, it is our prayer that we can continue to push with the work that we're doing, advance Mining in Motion into a larger platform where Africans can collaborate on knowledge sharing platforms. Because at the end of the day, we at AGI are very cognizant of the fact that until the solution is rolled out in a way that it can be regionally adopted, and by regionally I mean across the African continent, our work is incomplete. So we hope that the next iterations of Mining in Motion, which is something that we look to push for, would include more African governments. This year we had over 15 African governments participating in the summit. So we hope that next year we would have an even larger contingent where we can start to share knowledge. One achievement that we are very proud of is that after Mining in Motion, a lot of governments that attended were they fell in love with the Gold Board agenda. They fell in love with what the Gold Board represents, and they're looking to implement similar strategies. So hopefully next time, when another Mining in Motion Summit comes up, it could probably be Ghana learning from another African country, or other African countries learning from us.
And as we wrap up this afternoon, just your answer to that question pretty much speaks to what your theme is this year. It's all around sustainable mining, local growth, but really about leveraging resources for global impact. Talk to us about that theme and how it has played itself out.
So the theme is in two folds. I like to break it up into two. Sustainable mining in the sense that we want to extract our resources in the most significant way possible, but we don't want to do it at the detriment of us, of our environment. Because at the end of the day, the opportunity cost will put us in a negative bracket. Because whatever we take out of the ground, we're going to spend the same money to fix what we took out. And by local growth, if the communities that these resources are being found in are not benefiting, how are we going to have a chain reaction that sees the people in the community growing if all the resources are being sent to one specific place and the people in the communities are left at a disadvantage? There would be no chain effects there. You would not see growth in the communities, and the communities will continue to remain the way they are. And sometimes it even leads to a bit of desperation on behalf of the communities, where they then start to have a ripple effect starts to materialize, where you see the communities starting to engage in activities like illegal mining just because they feel neglected.
That's true. We'll leave it at that for this afternoon. We thank you so much for joining us today, and wish you all the best. We certainly will be keeping an eye out for the Mining in Motion Summits as it continues to grow, and actually quite keen to see how it morphs and how next year's take will be looking like. We thank you for your time this afternoon.
Thank you too.
Thank you. That is the Managing Director of the Ashanti Green Initiative, Prince Oheneba